More federal government delegation visit Niger State, assuring humanitarian aid to flood victims in Mokwa local government area of Niger State. Nigerian Navy commissions new vessels and helicopters to boost maritime security in Nigerian waterways. And NDLEA arrests 2 Saudi-bound suspects, part of syndicate sponsoring pilgrims with cocaine to Saudi Arabia during pilgrimage. Hello and welcome to the Late TV News at 11 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. My name is Frama Panyi. You've heard the headlines, now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has activated all relevant agencies to provide succor to the flood victims in Mokwa local government area of Niger State. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who led the federal government delegation to pay a condolence visit to Niger State government, says the president also directed National Orientation Agency to commence immediate sensitization of the people. Saluhu Gwanara reports.
In the last decade, Nigeria has grappled with different magnitude of floods, leading to the loss of lives and property, particularly among states with riverine communities. Niger State is one of such states and among the leading agrarian states in Nigeria with abundant potential in food crops. For some time now, recorded incidences of disaster that have their roots to both artificial and natural phenomena are also impacting the state's popularity and fortune. As the sky opened to shower its blessings on the ground this season, it did so in excess in Mokwa and created a historic flood that has already claimed about 151 lives, displaced 3,018 persons, affected 503 households, injured 11 persons, and affected 3 bridges.
Days after the unfortunate flood incident, more casualty figures are still emerging, and more worrisome is that the cause of the flood is yet to be ascertained.
The government spokesman led the federal government delegation on a sympathy visit to the people and government of Niger State and assured the victims of government total support.
This is really a very sad situation, and Mr. President is really very saddened by it. So every activity that needs to be undertaken by government at the federal level is being done to collaborate with you, Your Excellency, to work with the community to ensure that succor, like I said earlier, comes to the way of all the people around that area.
We need a temporary camp where we can put people. We should not delay it.
They can create camps for them, and with what support we can give to displaced communities, because they become displaced communities, so that we can see where we can meet their needs.
They all agreed that collaboration among the tiers of government and its relevant agencies will be strengthened in dealing with unforeseen emergencies like the current one in Mokwa, in Mina, the Niger State capital. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, that toll after floods that hit Mokwa local government area of Niger State on Thursday has risen to 155. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency confirmed the update as of 12 p.m. on Sunday, and here is a graphic representation. Has commiserated with the governor of Kano State, Malam Abba Kabiru Yusuf, and families of the 22 members of the state contingent to the just concluded National Sports Festival in Ogun State who died in a car accident. Akpabio, who represented President Bola Tinubu at the closing ceremony of the Games in Abeokuta, expressed profound sadness over the tragic incident, saying the devastating loss is a painful reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of prioritizing the safety and well-being of our citizens, particularly the youth. While praying that God comforts the families of the deceased during this difficult time, Akpabio also prayed for the peaceful repose of the souls of the departed, with the hope that their memories inspire the living to work towards creating a safer and more supportive environment for all. Meanwhile, the Minister of Police Affairs, Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, offers heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Kano State, as well as to the entire nation over the tragic loss of young athletes and a fatal accident while returning from the National Sports Festival in Ogun State. In a statement, Senator Ibrahim Gaidam described the incident as a national tragedy, sharing the sorrow of the bereaved families. The minister paid tribute to the athletes' dedication and contributions to sports, recognizing their lasting impact on national pride. Senator Gaidam expressed sadness over the loss of these promising lives and highlighted their inspiring spirit of perseverance. He prayed for the peaceful repose of their souls, comfort for their families, and a quick recovery for those injured in the accident. Ogun State government has announced a 1 million naira cash support to each of the bereaved families of 22 Kano contingents who lost their lives while returning from the recently concluded National Sports Festival held in Abeokuta. The State Deputy Governor Noimot Salako Oyedele announced this during a condolence visit to Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
Less than 24 hours after the tragic motor accident that claimed the lives of Kano athletes and officials, Ogun State Deputy Governor Noimot Salako Oyedele has arrived in Kano to commiserate with the government and people of the state. As the host state of the recently concluded National Sports Festival, from which the victims were returning, Salako Oyedele expressed deep sorrow over the incident, describing it as a shared national tragedy. The loss, she stated, is not only felt by the bereaved families and the people of Kano, but by the entire Nigerian sports community and the nation at large. While offering praise for the souls of the departed, the Deputy Governor also wished the injured a swift and full recovery.
We've provided the sum of 1 million naira each to them, the 31 people who were involved in this accident.
Kano State Deputy Governor Aminu Abdulsalam expressed appreciation for the solidarity. He described the visit as a reflection of true empathy and brotherhood, noting that Kano feels supported during this difficult time. He disclosed that the state government has made adequate arrangements for the medical care of the injured and had also provided interim financial assistance of 1 million naira and food items to the families of the deceased. Also received by the Deputy Governor are the leaderships of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria and the Nigerian Basketball Federation, who came to condole with the government and people of the state. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And as victims continue to count losses from the flood in Niger State, the National Emergency Management Agency is evolving strategies that will mitigate the impending 2025 flood prediction of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency with stakeholders' engagement on disaster preparedness and response campaigns. The initiative, which is with the theme Strengthening Resilience, Enhancing Preparedness and Response, seeks to help take disaster risk management to the grassroots to save lives and property. Fatima Usman reports.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, and the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency have forecasted that 43 local government areas spread across 12 states of the Federation will experience flood in 2025, Niger State inclusive. Mitigating the effects of the predicted flood is why the National Emergency Management Agency is holding these stakeholders' engagement on the 2025 National Preparedness and Response Campaign on flood disaster and related hazards, aimed at planning for effective early actions to save lives and livelihoods.
For those people that are in flood plains, should please begin with the authorities to identify high grounds where they can move in an event of the flood, so that we can avoid issue of unnecessarily dying as a result of the flood.
We are very, very prepared with logistically funds to prepare through aggressive sensitization, stockpiling of relief materials, and also cascading, downscaling this information down to the people.
Everybody to study the weather when wind is coming, not to go on the river.
Stakeholders at the engagement discussed extensively on how best to mitigate the impact of flood, while also pledging their commitment to partnering with relevant authorities to effectively reduce impact of impending flood disasters. I'm Fatima Usman, NTA News.
Renewed demonstration of its commitment to national security, the Nigerian Navy has inaugurated 3 newly acquired patrol vessels and tracker helicopters. Our Yusuf Jibo reports that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented, says his administration will leave no stone unturned in ensuring Nigeria's territorial integrity is secured.
The 3 newly acquired patrol vessels, NNS Ikogosi, NNS Faro, and NNS Shere, as well as the 3 brand new helicopters, are expected to significantly enhance the operational readiness of officers and ratings of the Nigerian Navy as it continues in its quest to secure Nigeria's territorial waters from all forms of crime and criminality. Minister of State for Defense Bello Matawalle, who represented President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says the federal government remains committed to meeting the needs of the armed forces.
These patrol ships and helicopters are force multipliers in our fight against piracy, oil theft, illegal fishing, and other maritime crime. This commissioning is therefore a reflection of our determination to empower our institutions and protect our resources.
Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, says the inauguration of the new assets is part of activities to mark the Nigerian Navy's 69th anniversary.
The ships we are commissioning today have high endurance and are equipped with advanced surveillance as well as rapid response capabilities. The 3 Augusta Westland helicopters also have long-range surveillance and high-endurance capabilities. We believe that these platforms will complement our existing maritime domain awareness.
The Minister of State for Defense, while also commissioning newly built accommodations for officers of the Navy, tasked its personnel to remain steadfast in carrying out their constitutional responsibility. With these new acquisitions, the Nigerian Navy says it is strengthening security and lifting morale one asset at a time. In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
Now, the President Nigerian Army Officers Wives Association, NAOWA, Mernan Femi Oluyede, wants graduates of Batch 1 ICT trainees of NAOWA Youth Empowerment Project to utilize their acquired knowledge and ICT skills in developing security equipment and promoting sustainable livelihoods within and outside barrack communities. She was speaking at the graduation of the 199 graduates held at the NAOWA's Event Center, Abuja. Chineye Nwoye reports.
So what we've learned in the space of 6 weeks, we'll hold it and look forward to the future with pride.
By the grace of God, we might start supporting the families, start going into digital working.
Adamu Israel and Josephine John are among the 199 graduates and Batch 1 ICT trainees who are taking through 6 weeks training on various fields of ICT at the NAOWA Institute of Management and Technology at Sokoro, Abuja.
We're quite hopeful that they'll be able to develop drones for our own country.
The president of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association and other facilitators at NAOWA's Training Institute also believe that the true empowerment is not just a handout, but a hand-up.
This ceremony is not merely the conclusion of training, it marks the beginning of new possibilities.
The Chief of Army Staff is here represented.
Let me begin by commending the President of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association and her dedicated team for sustaining and expanding this impactful program.
As these graduating students are presented with these certificates, they are also advised to carry not only the certificates but also a mindset of resilience. The best 3 students in each of the ICT courses went home with a laptop each. Presidents of various NAOA's sisters agencies, as well as the former president of NAOA, Hadiza Dambazo, who built the Training Institute in 2010, are all here. In Abuja, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
We'll pause here, take a short break. We will come back with more news. Stay tuned.
I am pleased to announce encouraging news from the National Bureau of Statistics, which released the Consumer Price Index, the CPI, for April 2025 only yesterday. According to the report, the headline inflation rate for April stood at 23.71%, This represents a decrease of 0.52% from the 24.23% recorded in March 2025. Similarly, month-on-month inflation dropped by a notable 2.04% from 3.90% in March to 1.86% in April. This, of course, did not just happen by chance. The President is focused and is determined, and his determination and his interventions are clearly paying off. The benefits of reform, though gradual, are real and measurable.
Welcome back. Now, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have uncovered and dismantled a syndicate that sponsors Hajj pilgrims who also serve as couriers to smuggle cocaine to Saudi Arabia during pilgrimage. This development follows the arrest of the cartel's leaders in Kano. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim tells us more.
Based on credible intelligence, the NDLEA arrested 2 pilgrims at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport on May 26th after a body scan revealed they had ingested illicit substances. Each person excreted 45 wraps of cocaine, totaling 90 pellets. Further investigation uncovered their sponsors as leaders of a notorious drug trafficking network specializing in smuggling drugs to Saudi Arabia. A swift operation led to the arrest of the trio on May 27th and 28th, 2025 in Kano. In a related operation, NDLEA operatives at the Kano airport intercepted a 60-year-old businessman bound for Iran after a body scan revealed he had ingested 65 wraps of cocaine. In another operation, NDLEA operatives on patrol along Kano-Maiduguri Road on May 30th intercepted 2 persons with $900,000 in cash suspected to be counterfeit. The suspect and exhibit will be transferred to the relevant agency for further investigation. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And as part of steps towards promoting unity among its members worldwide, Ahmadu Bello University Alumni Association has reawakened its spirits with commissioning of some projects to ensure effective service delivery. Lawal Salau Inwa reports that Vice-Chancellor Professor Adamu Ahmed pledged to join hands with the alma mater to lift the institution to an enviable height. The report.
With more than 500,000 members worldwide, Ahmadu Bello University Alumni Association remains one of the leading alma mater not only in northern states but also across the country. To ensure the unity and giving back to its base, the alumni has commissioned some projects in their secretariat for the smooth running of services. The projects include gate, security post and toilet, perimeter fence, borehole, among others. Under the leadership of the 6th president of the alumni, Adamu Mamman Kwantagora, the association has also set to collaborate with the university to ensure the success of endowment fund project, which targeted 1 billion naira annually.
We liaise with the university to make it by counting first, second, up to the end to be an endowment fund raising for the university.
Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Adamu Ahmed, said recently the institution signed a memorandum of understanding with the Rural Electrification Agency with a view to provide 10 megawatt solar power, which only 3 hostels can benefit out of 9.
The government is not in a position to fund every of our needs. So, and the first port of call will be the alumni.
Other members bore their minds on the development.
This is the first time that we have somebody who was Director of University Advancement, who has worked closely with Alumni Association, is now the Vice Chancellor of the university. So he knows it all.
It's a great development. The ultimate goal is that from every association should be well organized. We should have a secretariat where you can plan, develop and plan strategy on how we can move the university forward.
It's a great achievement, and it's a good example to the branches all throughout the country and even abroad.
Earlier, the leadership of the Executive Council Committee under the President Bagdam Kwantagora
I apologize for the loss of sound in some parts of that report. Now, what started as a birthday gathering turned into a political conference. It was an event put together in Abuja tagged celebrating Chibuike Rotimi Amechi at 60. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, and Chibuike Rotimi Amechi were all part of the coalition that ousted the then ruling People's Democratic Party, PDP, in 2015. A decade after, the march is on again as political enthusiasts watch how things will play out in 2027.
There are a number of you who are expert conspirators, who know how to assemble coalitions and then take over governments as you did to my party. 2015. We must find a way to really find our first 11 and put them forward.
This time, it's a public lecture to celebrate the 60th birthday of the former governor of Rivers State, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi. The celebrant urged citizens to submit first to the interest of the nation.
We want to submit to the opposition if the opposition can lead us out of this problem. We must agree, we must all agree to submit ourselves to the interest of the nation first, before the interest of ourselves.
President Buhari wishes you well, and you and your family wishes you many more years of joy, peace, and happiness, and good health, and more role, as they say, as everybody is wishing for you to play in our national development.
The economic policies of the President Tinubu-led administration was in focus as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Malam Nasir El-Rufai explained why they are leading a coalition ahead of 2027.
And I think the key challenge for Nigerians in 2027 is really to look at those that are offering themselves for leadership.
You may call me a conspirator, you may call me anything, and that is why we are in this alliance.
The Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, attended the public lecture in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
This is the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Now here is a reminder of our major stories. More federal government delegation visit Niger State, assuring humanitarian aid to flood victims of Mokwa local government area of Niger State. Nigerian Navy commissions new vessels and helicopters to boost maritime security in Nigerian waterways. An NDLEA arrests 2 Saudi-bound suspects, part of syndicate sponsoring pilgrims with cocaine to Saudi Arabia during pilgrimage.
News 24.
Now, the 5th Abuja National Musical Concert has been held in Abuja with the focus on developing musical talents of children. Children from different primary and secondary schools participated in the concert with majorly exposed their talent. The Director of Music Nigerian Air Force stated that schools need to add music to their curriculum for proper knowledge and understanding.
We have our schools, both in the Army, in the Nigerian Air Force, in the Nigerian Navy, offering music. And that's a testament that we value music as a department in the Armed Forces of Nigeria.
Students display their talents with different musical instruments and vocal voice delivery, urging government to do more in harnessing their talents.
Promoting classic music. A lot of music now, Afrobeats, hip-hop, those are the ones that are reigning. But classic and Disney music is what really we grew up with. And bringing it back is just very refreshing.
I enjoyed the music that I heard, and I enjoyed the view.
I really appreciate the efforts of them setting up this whole event because it encourages students like myself to step out of their comfort zone and to express their musical talents because God has gifted us. There's no better way than to show the world what we can do with it.
I really enjoyed this competition. I believe my school will win this competition, most definitely. We've been training for hours and hours for weeks, so yeah.
And that concludes the late evening news at 11 on NTA News 24. Thank you so much for being a part of it. My name is Frama Paine. Have a good night.